Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for the love and support. I appreciate it. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And so I shot a video previously and I'm not happy with it, so I don't know if I'm even going to post it because I prefer filming at night. And I filmed the video like just before it became night. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Today I wanted to talk about the occupational therapy relationship between the occupational therapist and the client. Look, this is probably one of the most crucial skills you will ever learn in occupational therapy, and it is how to engage your clients and meet the clients where they are to develop a relationship that is going to go together with your therapy process. So there's obviously different stages, there's obviously different phases, and there's different strategies. So we're going to talk about how to build a fulfilling therapeutic relationship with your clients. And also with COVID, maybe this is going to be like your one chance to actually develop a relationship with anyone else, basically, because we're going to be doing it through socials, we're going to be doing it through virtual communication. So learning that skill is pretty important. So let's get into it. Number one, develop a rapport. So a lot of the times we do advocate for this, like it's important for you to develop a rapport that matters to the client. That means you need to encompass yourself with the client. You need to meet the client or your patient at the level of intimacy that they are. And honestly speaking, I do think that a lot of therapists struggle with this because sometimes I just want to get my marks and just, I don't have time for this. I've got like many other patients, and it becomes a challenge where you have to develop a relationship or a rapport, not a relationship, a rapport with your client or with 7 other clients. But it's crucial because you're able to then get buy-in and be able to achieve the things that you wish to achieve and for them to achieve. So you need to honor your client. You need to demonstrate willingness to understand their feelings, their grief, their hope, their fears. You need to be encompassed and meet them at the level of their intimacy. How do you do that? Well, very simple. By being understanding. Be extremely understanding of your clients when you meet them. There's obviously a reason that they're there, and there has been a previous life that they were living prior to this encounter with you. So you have to do the groundwork of finding out where the client was before they met you, and hopefully you will be an aid to taking them to where they need to be. So how do you go about being this understanding creature? You have to be social. You have to be social, you have to be friendly, you have to ask about hobbies, roles, values, beliefs, culture. It's very crucial for a therapist to understand the culture of another individual. That is one of the most important things that I think. And don't think just because you're black or just because you're white you guys have the same culture. It's not the case. So ask those crucial things that you need to know about your clients so that you are developing an understanding of who they are and where they are and where they want to go. Then also with you asking these specific questions and making sure you understand where they come from and where they are right now and where they want to go, you need to take note of the client's responses. Take note of what they're saying, take note of their ability, take note of, what they're kind of telling you so that you can create an idea that has been given to you and not one that you created for yourself. Number 2, establish trust. I mean, with any relationship, we know that trust is important. What more now in a situation where you're asking somebody about their previous life, what happened before they got here, who are they? You're going into like deep personal questions about this person. Why did they leave their job? Why did they go to their next job? Why don't they have a good relationship with their mom? You are going into like a person's blueprint. So you need to establish some kind of trust so that the client is really chilled and easy with you and you're able to meet your goals as well. So how do you go about creating this trust? You can do this by giving some information about yourself. People generally enjoy speaking about themselves, and I think it's good because it makes you relatable. It makes you human, where you are able to share some of your experiences with someone else. And by you sharing your story, you don't even know how many people you're helping. You don't even know like what kind of mentality you kind of helping your client tap into that they probably had never thought of it before. So you need to be willing to share some kind of information. You need to be willing to spend time, right? You know, a lot of the times as students, you get to a session, you are worried about yourself and your marks and your session, and everything is about you. That I think, looking back now, I should have just gone to my session maybe a little bit early and sat there with my client and been like, hey girl, how you doing? You know, how was your day today? And, you know, just find some time to speak with them and find out, you know, are they in the mood for this? Not really. How can I cheer them up so that when my supervisors are coming to view our session, we are like, you know, 2 peas in a pod? But that's exactly what you need to do. Like, don't take this thing or this process and just be so absorbed in your marks and getting things done that you forget to make that human contact, that human understanding, or that human value of sharing time, sharing experiences. I'm not saying, you know, go into like everything about you, but if you think that this is a teachable moment, share from your personal experiences. You know, I learned to do that once I became a professional, because when I was a student, all I cared about were my marks. All I cared about was, okay, am I gonna do the session? Is the session going to be okay? Like, and when you are in that kind of framework or in that kind of state, honestly speaking, you're unable to like breathe. So remember to breathe, and when you are building trust with your clients, give them some of your time. In you establishing trust, make sure that the client has a choice. Like, again, there's so many times where as a student you will just go there and be like, okay, so I need you to do this, my supervisor is coming. No, honey, chill. Ask the client, will you be comfortable if we do this? Or, I know that this is a very difficult situation, there's going to be other people here to evaluate me. Please, you need to make me know whenever you feel uncomfortable about a situation, and we don't have to do it. Looking back, I should have done better in terms of that. Like, there were so many cringe filling moments that I look upon as a student, and I think to myself, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. So that is why I'm saying, please make sure your clients have choices. In that way, they will be able to trust you and know that you have their best interests at heart. You're not here to fulfill yourself only, but also to better them in some kind of way. So that will help a lot. So then how do you go about now establishing this trust? Engage the clients in therapy. Therapy is a moment where people talk. Therapy is a moment where people share ideas. Therapy is a moment where there's acceptance of who the other person is. Whether it is you as the therapist who is giving the therapy, or whether it is the client, you need to get to a point where there is full acceptance of who you are in your being, in the session, in the current moment. So engage the clients in therapy, and not only where you get to benefit because here's a supervisor and you need marks and that type of situation. No, don't offer meaningful options, offer meaningful quotes, offer meaningful advice, offer meaningful things and possible options for your clients that are meaningful to them. And please explain the purpose of the session, explain the purpose of the activity, explain the purpose of why they are sitting here today to do what you have set up so beautifully. But not only that, throughout your whole interaction from the first day, explain to the clients that, girl, we are going to be spending a lot of time together, or sir, we will be spending a lot of time together, and during this time we're going to be doing activities that may be uncomfortable for you or may not be understandable to you in that moment, but I will be able to explain and make sure that you understand every activity or everything that we are about to do. It doesn't matter what the client's background is. Tell the client what activity they are doing and why they are doing it. Even if it means you need to tell them the day before, do that. It builds trust and it takes away those awkward moments within sessions or evaluation processes that we just don't want to relive. Number 3, develop a collaborative partnership. I cannot express this more. Clients need to feel involved. How are you going to do that? Share difficult paths, share difficult paths of knowledge or competence. Show them I'm about to do something that I've never done before. Please be patient with me, and if you're feeling uncomfortable, please let me know. Or would you be okay if I tried a new experiment with you? I've never tried it with anyone else. Or today I'm actually having a difficult day, Mr. X or Mrs. X. And even if you're working with a child, children are the most receptive and the most smartest things I've ever come across. You can be like, today I just feel like life is a little bit difficult, but I'm willing and I'm ready to do this, and I know that you are here to help me and I'm here to help you. And just share your human experiences. Be normal. Clients understand that you have bad days. You need to understand that clients have a bad day. And with that kind of collaborative partnership, you'll be able to achieve so many things by just showing your difficulty as well. As much as the client is showing you theirs, just be vulnerable also. How do you go about doing this? Obviously, work together. It's a partnership. You have your strengths, they have their strengths. You have your weaknesses, they have their weaknesses. Where you are weak, they are strong. Where they are strong, you are weak. So make that work and focus on each other's positives as the therapist versus the patient. If the patient is still working on transferring from the floor to their wheelchair, you can kind of boost their confidence by doing something that they have grasped and that they can do. That they do that first before they do something that's a bit more challenging, that's going to get them oh my goodness, I can't do this. So always focus on how are you going to make sure the client is noticing their positive within the session and working on their negative. So same thing with you. sometimes when you are able to be open with your clients and be like, actually, I'm really not comfortable speaking about this topic, or I'm not really knowledgeable about this topic. Can I go home and do some research and then I will answer you tomorrow? Or we'll have a little brief session and we'll talk about it properly tomorrow when I've made an informed consensus or something like that. You don't know everything, and you can't sit there and act like you know everything. It's okay for you to show that human side, and it's okay for your client to actually see that, oh, okay, they didn't know something, they went home, they came back, they explained it, and here we are. Then you as the therapist, you come with your expertise and your techniques and your principles. You come with your techniques, your expertise, your principles, all that knowledge, that professional knowledge you have. And then let the clients also bring their abilities, their capabilities, their knowledge into the session, so that you guys can have a proper collaborative partnership. Support the client to make goals or make decisions about the session. Like, help them, if they are probably struggling with decision making, obviously narrow it down, but still give them choice. Ask them about their goals, and if they're struggling with breaking down goals step by step, that's what you're there for. Make sure that the client is also having a collaborative partnership within this therapy session, or within the future sessions, or within the treatment plan that you are implementing as an occupational therapist. Don't doubt your patients. While you guys are working together, convey trust in their abilities, and if they are struggling, you are there to aid, and you'll be able to see whether the client is in sync with their problem solving abilities. Are they able to see that some things they can do or some things they can't do? Are you able then to come in and explain that process to them and help them with the problem solving, and also not forgetting to check the client's resources? Make sure that when you are doing your plans and treatments, goals, and all of those things, you need to make sure that you understand your client's resources and you understand your client's background. Number 4, sustain a therapeutic relationship. How do you go about sustaining a therapeutic relationship? You do this by helping the client move away from you being like the facilitator, to them practicing a bit of autonomy in the session. Obviously, I'm speaking about a specific client here. Not all clients are ready for autonomy in terms of leading a therapy session, but with your facilitation, build that confidence in the clients where they are moving towards a more autonomous therapy session, or activity choice selection, or activity participation. With improving trust and confidence is deepening, obviously different strategies are changing, and you're unlocking different levels of each other, you as the therapist and you as the client. So you're able to kind of strategize even more, reach more goals, look at different kinds of abilities and responses. So in that way, you're now, that's kind of sustaining your relationship, because you're feeding off of each other's abilities and evaluation of each other and how you are growing. By the end of your treatment sessions, you kind of have that moment and you sit with your clients and you're like, okay, what could you have done better? What could I have done better? That kind of builds trust and confidence, and then things are gradually then starting to improve. How do you go about sustaining a therapeutic relationship? Well, you enable occupational performance. You are now at the forefront of making sure that the client understands that they are actually occupational beings, that they are performing in their daily activities. So in terms of like having poor resources, you find solutions. Okay, instead of buying certain things, which most of our clients can't, okay, so how can we adaptively or creatively make something that is going to help you? Looking at, okay, by like last week you couldn't do 1, 2, 3, but look, this week you are accomplishing new goals, you are doing new things. It's always good for a client to always understand and see that from that previous session they have actually improved coming into that session, and then in that way they could probably see that they are actually engaging and participating, and in that way you are enabling occupational performance. Go with the client's rhythm. Like now, because you are enabling occupational performance, the client is becoming more confident in themselves. For every problem, we're coming up with solutions, we're coming up with different strategies. Things are actually improving now, where the client and you are in a position where there's improved occupational performance. Not only for the client but also for you. You're noticing so much success in this particular activity that you are noticing that most of the problems that you also had maybe in therapy session 1 have actually gradually improved in this session. So going with the client's rhythm now, and becoming more of like letting the client be a leader instead of the follower, that can kind of also help with sustaining a relationship, and that can actually now start showing the client that they can be independent in their occupational life. You need to create new opportunities for your clients so that you can see that are they developing, are they changing, are they becoming better at a particular skill, are they willing to take risks, are you willing to take risks? And with you taking risks, you're showing your client that you can do it too. Yes, you might not be successful at first, but eventually if you're willing to step out of the comfort zone or the normal way of doing things, you're able to find a solution. So that's how you sustain a therapeutic relationship, by enabling occupational performance. Number 6, relationship endures. So when we say the relationship endures, we're basically at a point where like those awkward moments are gone between you and your client. It's like you've known the client for a very long time, and even though the client has gone home, you're seeing different clients. The client comes back when they are an outpatient and they're like, oh no, I have to see so and so before I go home, and they come to you and they're like, oh, I'm doing so much better, thank you so much. That's when Uguti, you did a good job, where a relationship endures even though the client is no longer within the session, or within not the session, is no longer within the setting, and they are actually, when they are coming to the hospital, coming to see you too, to thank you or to just check up on you and see how you're doing. And I'm not saying like that stalkerish kind of thing where the client is coming to you when they know they're not supposed to, like those nice surprises, like, oh my gosh, like I used to get those a lot when working in a clinic. Like a client of mine would come and be like, oh, my child can walk now, or oh my goodness, you have those great moments where you're like, oh, okay, that means I did a good job. So that's how you can tell that your client, the way in which you have built your relationship, it went exceptionally well when the relationship endures even way after the therapy ends. How do you see that this is possible, or how do you know when relationship endures? And it's by the outcomes. Did the client reach their goals? And if they did, they will be super excited. Is the client living a fulfilled life then when they met you? Have they gradually seen their ability, and have they moved into living that fulfilled life that they once lived or that they once desired? Is the client satisfied with their engagements in their occupations? Is the client satisfied with their goals that they've reached? Is the client satisfied? If the client is satisfied, relationship is enjoyed. But you too, as the therapist, have to also know that, are you satisfied with the therapy as well? If both of you are satisfied, then all is well. And the client has now moved from being a follower and has a sense of autonomy in their own life and sense of control in managing their life. So those are the most crucial things that you need to look at when you are developing a therapeutic relationship that is going to help you with the therapeutic process of occupational therapy. If you have other ways on how you can establish a good, lasting relationship with your client, please comment down below and let me know how you are able to achieve a good and lasting relationship with your client. Telehealth possibly being one of the tools that we're going to have to use for quite some time, by making sure that you understand these 6 phases and stages of building a therapeutic relationship, you will be able to get the most out of your clients, even in a virtual situation. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.